natural, I guess, at that point. I don't really know what else to say. But this is game 2. We just witnessed in game number 1, EG looking damn good. And this came, of course, at the start of Illidan, that mid lane silencer, punishing Sumail. Sumail still found a way to just collect all the farm necessary. Aoi was starting to transition to be a powerhouse core on his Naga, just getting the Radiance as the game was concluded. But it's clear that Virtus.pro, they're going to have to shake that one off and kind of go back to the drawing board here for game number 2.
Yeah, definitely very tough. And he got respect banned in the first round, so Evil Geniuses going for the typical power cores right now, Gyrocopter and Leshrac ban, and also the SF ban from VP. A hero we've seen some games today, but has been getting banned a lot in the first round. That's just due to his really high farm rate. He's very strong in the mid lane. He can punish a lot of matchups, and it's the whole physical damage minus armor thing that synergizes with so many strats. So just a safe ban there as a whole. I'm
going to reach in my meta mind, and I'm going to say Tusk and Earthshaker. What would you say?
I think Earthshaker is very likely here. I know Universe has a very, very good Tusk. I'm going to cheat a little bit and look at the board for any heroes that I might be forgetting.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the second. I really don't know. There's a lot of options. Like, they could pick Clock, but Clock isn't very good against Queen of Pain. So it really comes down to strategies, you know? I don't think it'll be about the counter pick. So we got the Lina strat coming. We're going to see what we saw earlier, perhaps. The Clinks, Lina, Bloodstone, into
Skyrath
BKB.
Mage.
Skyrath Mage.
Seal, Amplification. Yeah, it's feasible. Lina, though, picked up first.
Lina ES,
very flexible to start. Yeah, ES could still be here, or the Tusk. ES is going to be the choice. Leaves the Tusk still out there if Virtus.pro want to get it.
So we were both right. I said Earthshaker plus whatever strat they're going with. And you said Earthshaker plus Tusk, which was more wrong than what I said.
And 2 halves make 1 whole. You're a half, I'm a half.
So I think we both perfectly analyzed this game. We can stop now.
Yep.
Might as well leave.
Let's see Virtus.pro if they want to take advantage of still the top platinum options that are out there on the board right now. They want to go back for the DK Phobos Tusk. Didn't do him a whole lot in the last game, so you got to wonder if you're like, this could still be a good Tusk game, but are we...
He got a lot out of his lane, but it didn't... Their heroes just didn't scale into the late as well versus what they're up against. Like the TA late, great versus Bloodseeker, great versus Silencer. Like, what does a Tusk do to make that hurt less, you know? Like, once TA pops a BKB, Tusk is worthless, basically. And she's got decent ranged attack. It's, like, okay. And she's pretty fast because of Manta Style, and she's a Blink. Even your Ice Shard, or whatever the heck it's called, Frozen Sigil, is going to die. So that Vici Gaming logo that every team uses. I'm always like, oh, is this Vici Gaming? Nope, they're just using the Sigil.
Probably the best item a team has put into the game.
For branding, yeah, easily.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. It's not even close. Literally every team uses it. I'm like, if I was on a pro team, wouldn't you just unequip that one and be like, you know, I'm going to stick with the regular.
What would be, you know what would be better is if they got hats for Wisp and each of the balls were like a team logo that flew around. I mean, that would be the only thing I can imagine that could
Virtus.pro, it's like a bear. Just a little bear logo. It just looks completely out of place.
Bunch of EGs turning around and
EG could also make a Frozen Sigil, I swear. It looks very, very similar shape.
It works as long as Tusk is relevant. When Tusk is not relevant, people are never going to see it. But
so, Dazzle the pick.
All right, so they get their defensive support. Maybe they're just kind of holding one of those extra picks in reserve. Like, you never know. Like, right now they could wait out, and with their 2 next picks, they could try to do something like the Bloodseeker Zeus 1-2 punch maybe for one of these teams. You never really know.
That's really true, actually. Something that we saw a lot of Bloodseeker being picked first round, but I think, again, it's been shown that it is counterable, and it's only so good. It comes down to getting a lot of rupture kills, something that happens all the time in pubs. But in high-level games, is so much harder for that. Like, people will TP support for each other. They'll move as 3, and at that point, it's very dangerous to roam around and gank as a BS. So,
are they going to ban the Disruptor here? If they did, it'd be every game. If they don't ban it and Virtus.pro pick it up, I will probably have a chuckle.
It's good versus core Lina until she gets BKB, and then it's a big issue. They're already pretty... They have the defensive support out of Dazzle, so I think it could be a Disruptor could fit into VP's strategy here. I wouldn't say it's amazing against Earthshaker, because he's usually far, far away without a Blink Dagger, but he's got that fissure ready.
Yes, he certainly does. That's why I like something like a Zeus would help case Earthshaker is trying to wait in the wings and be a presence, would check it out. Oh,
okay.
Bounty Hunter. Completely forgot about him as one of those top first pick options.
Yeah. We have seen him get banned first round some games, but didn't get banned this time. Would have been good at pressuring Lina. Lina is very weak versus Quap. If it's a Quap and a Bounty, you can't stun both of them, and they're slowing you in 2 different ways, and that is very vulnerable. So I think it's a lot safer to go for that than to have to deal. Like, they'd much rather deal with a disruptor than a potential disruptor than a Lina. So. Into the second round, EG gets the first pick, and last game they did this strat, at least as so far. They did Sand King offlane. That was their last pick. They had a Clinks, which could still be their second pick of this second phase, because I doubt VP will play it. Very few other teams are playing that. And the last hero was a Skywrath Mage. So could be Sky, could be Clinks, could be Sand King. That was their previous draft. I think it worked out fantastic. Maybe they don't want as much burst damage this game because there's a Dazzle. Maybe not the best hero. Maybe something like Axe or Ancient Apparition might be better. It's still pretty synergistic, because then you got Ice Vortex rather than the Skywrath Mage. The only downside is much. It's actually a kind of a weak dual support. Obviously, Earthshaker or A can roam well together, but you can't just like say, oh, AUI, take AA and go around getting solo kills. Very, very difficult to do that compared to Sky. And can't zone as well either.
Oh, I was going to say, you can always grab the Tusk for Universe there. He does get snagged up.
A lot better as a solo hero, especially. And they can still do what they did last game, which was Fissure block the first creep wave, guarantee him a fast level 2, and then he could just be like, oh, I'm going to go gank, but no.
He's Radiant side. You can block the lane yourself too, technically, with Ice Shards.
Oh, with Ice Shards, okay. Yeah. I did not know that.
Same way as like Clockwork does with his cogs.
Do you do it at the first opening, like close to the tier 2?
I can't remember. It was in BTS Americas the first time I saw it. It was in like one of the first rounds, and who I was with at the time, I think it was Fluff I was casting with, and yeah, he went right for it. It was so funny because the other team was also onto it. Jubei was actually playing on the other team, a Bounty Hunter, and he tried to go over there and chop down the tree ahead of time so he couldn't trap the creeps in there. But I guess it's so good that even with the tree chopped, he still found a way to use the Ice Shards effectively and block a lot of the creeps from getting into the lane. So technically, Tusk can do it himself if they want to reserve the Fissure, let's say, or he could just save the point for something else or save the Ice Shards, theory crafting and such. So he has a lot of options and good versatility still as that offlaner. But it has been done, and it can be done. And I know it was on Radiant side. But back to Virtus.pro's side of things here. They already have claimed the Queen of Pain and the Dazzle. We'll see what they look to take advantage of here.
It's a really slow draft, actually, for the day so far. And of the games that I've casted, at least, we saw 2 1-1s. And this is going to determine whether or not EG can slam out to a commanding 4-point victory, that is. Because the VP as well as Newbie both made 1 point from their 1-1s.
That's correct.
This is VP's second set. Wait, did Newbie play 2 sets so far?
VP have only played the 1 set, I believe.
I thought we casted 2 VP sets. We casted 2 newbies. Yes, newbie went 1-1 versus EG.
We casted VP Newbie, and then Newbie EG, and now EG Newbie. Yeah, or so, EG VP.
So EG went 1-1.
Yes.
VP got 1 point.
Yep.
And Newbie got 1 point. So if EG wins this in a 2-0, that would put Newbie at 2 points.
Correct.
VP at 1 point and EG at 4 points for our sets of the day. Yes. So that would be really good for EG. I know a lot of teams have been having trouble going 2-0. Obviously, that's the other side of the bracket, but even Secret going only 1 point versus the 3 points for their set versus Fnatic. Very surprising for them. They do go for the Sky again, so it looks to be the same strat they used earlier. Unsure whether or not Virtus.pro had somebody scouting those games out. I assume they had somebody on it being like, oh, you're going to play EG later. Let's at least see what their strats are going to be like, and you can give us a rundown. If they were paying attention, I dare say they wouldn't have banned PL maybe, but is the Clinks the critical part of this draft? I don't think so, but it's definitely nice.
Lots of synergy also between the Skywrath Mage and the Tusk. I know Root Gaming pulled out a lineup where they had the Tusk with the Blink Dagger, Blink in, Walrus Punch, immediate Mystic Flare, and they get hit so quick and so hard that they're not even able to get off the BKB half the time. They just get blown the hell up. So it's a beautiful 1-2 punch. Between that, you got the Earthshaker Fissure, and of course Lina. Skywrath Mage is going to just have a wonderful time, amplifying everything for his team and getting a good setup for his Mystic Flare. Virtus.pro, they had responded earlier with a Rubik, and now the Lycan. Not really surprised to see the Rubik. It's a Virtus.pro standard. It's their most picked hero. They have a 19-9 record with it here in 6.84. and they have a lot of flexibility with the hero. They frequently do trade this hero between both Lil and FNG, so you can't really tell. I believe FNG plays it just a touch more, but you know, it's really hard to say where they put priority in the farm. Right now they have the Dazzle, so it's looking like it's going to be a Lil hero. But the Lycan pickup, Purge, is this the first one of TI?
It's the first one I've seen. I haven't been watching every single game, but we've been watching quite a few in the lunch area, and I have not seen a Lycan yet. So let's see how it matches up against what happened the previous game. It was a lot of burst damage, and it came out very fast. But I would say Lycan's pretty good against Lina, can chase her down, has some movement speed advantage over her as he uses his ultimate, and she may have to pick up an earlier armor item. Perhaps she'll delay the BKB and instead opt for something like a faster Shiva's, possibly. But Ember Spirit makes this kind of tough, and I guess it's going to be Ember Spirit in the safe lane rather than a Clinkz. Clink's pretty bad versus Lycan, I would say, because he just runs away, and he can also chase him down.
And he gets Necro Book and finds Clinkz easy.
Yeah, and
over him.
I don't know if I would say that Clinkz was amazing against Quap either. It's still a little bit of a not the best throw matchup. So Ember Spirit versus Lycan is great. You can stop him for 3 seconds. Ember Spirit versus Quap, great as well. And the Brood.
Okay. So this is obviously not the first Brood of the tournament. This will be the first Brood that I know that we have personally going to be able to cast here. It is a Brood into an Ember Spirit, so it can be a bit finicky around that front, but it feels like this Brood's picked up to be more of like that lane dominator, be a distraction, and some serious sieging power coming out already from Virtus.pro. Lycan and Brood, these are two fantastic split pushers. They're able to just draw attention to other lanes and create the space necessary, and they have two of the biggest powerhouses on doing so. Evil Geniuses are going to really have to be at the right place at the right time here. This is going to put a lot of pressure on them to make sure that they coordinate appropriately and go to where they need to be, whether it's taking care of the Brood who's split pushing on the bottom or addressing this Lycan. They better make sure they move as a fine unit and don't risk losing too much trying to go for big rewards.
Especially because in the previous games, we saw PPD do a lot of roaming mid and stacking. And he might not be able to do that instead, because if Ember has a bit of a tough time in the early game and he gets behind, then you're going to be put in a really terrible position. So they have to make sure that this Brood doesn't get out of control, because if he does, it's going to limit the supports of being able to protect Sumail, and that might really limit Sumail's ability to do well. If it goes anything like last game, that's not going to happen. Sumail's going to be fine, even if he gets in a terrible 1v1 matchup, but he's got the Quaplina this game, and I think he can handle that no problem.
Got to give, of course, a small shout-out. Aoi sporting the Skywrath set, apparently dedicated to him from his teammate Sumail, and dedication Noob Sky.
Yes, Noob Sky and everyone. I believe Universe had a set as well from Sumail that had some more comments.
Let me see here.
This one is looking... It's not from Sumail.
Pirate's Life for you. Okay.
The one he gave to Sumail, or to Universe for his clock set, was like, noob clock, can't land a hook, and he put like one word in every single item. Nice guy.
What a guy. Well, we'll see if the team can make it work through this go-around here in their matchup against Virtus.pro. It's game number 2 of this best-of-2 series. This is going to be myself and Purge's last game to cast today on the agenda. And it might be the final heat today as well. We'll round out group stage action before we come back for more of it tomorrow. And EG hoping to finish out today with 4 points. Virtus.pro will only get up to at most 2 points today with their earlier split between Newbie. So heavy emphasis to make sure you're not shoved to the bottom part of the group. We'll have to see how it goes, though. Let's see how the lanes do get assessed here, Purge. For now, Aoi going to be going hand-in-hand with Fear in the safe lane as expected. Phobos is already there. Does that mean Aoi has some wards? He certainly does. 2 sentries. Doesn't need to use any of them to help out with the block camps, but you're going against a Brood. You shouldn't be pulling too much anyways. And then the Lina Quap Classic matchup in this mid lane, Purge.
Bit of a weird starting item build for the Broodmother, actually. Oh, but we have Dazzle in the area. Might be doing some damage. AUI's got to be careful. Takes the nuke. Great disable from Fear. Is going to buy him a second, and that could have been really disastrous otherwise. But he's just rushing the slow ring, and very surprisingly seen a support Dazzle helping to pressure. We almost never see this dual lane with a Broodmother. Usually he's just left to his own devices, but
But this dual lane purge
it's
is
good.
A Dazzle Brood. That's Heal Bomb City with those little broodlings.
Yeah, it's actually something that's been done a few years ago, but I haven't seen it personally anytime recently. So once he gets the spiders, it's similar to the whole Dazzle with Naga Siren thing. You can get some serious physical damage, and Dazzle is actually one of the best supports versus a laning Ember Spirit in a safe lane, because every time it comes up for a last hit, you have the chance of healing the creep, which does damage to the Ember Spirit, which forces him to miss the last hit. So this is pretty tough. But PPD immediately recognizing a dual lane, therefore he shifts over to make it extra dangerous for them to be here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just more him being there as a presence in case they think about maybe moving out on something. He can dish out a quick fissure, and things could be turned around. And, of course, that does mean that Sumail not going to get the assistance from PPD in this mid lane in his matchup against G. G for now 4-1 to Sumail 7-2. The young gun, man, he is off to a solid start within the first couple of waves. We check out the top lane here. Universe looking to contest the pull through, chops it right in, says, nope, I'm taking some of that back. And I've already blocked out the camp. He's going to take this little potato. Oh, can he get it to the creep wave? He can't. Was hoping for the pull there, but it's not happening.
So a bit rough for him. Ooh. First blood on the mid lane.
Unexpected mid-lane takedown from G. Just after I was praising Sumail, it's G who's going to get that one edge. Takes him down. Oh, very surprising. Good catch for him. And, of course, because PPD is hanging around this bottom lane, he's not nearby that mid lane to dish out the fissure. That could have saved his life.
Yeah, and if he does get out of position like that, it's always easier for Queen of Pain to chase and go after. On the bright side, because he did die, he's now got an entirely full mana pool, which means that he can abuse G a little bit harder in these first moments after him coming back. And since their levels are actually still pretty equal because of this, I think it's not the worst thing in the world ever for Sumail to die like that, because he's just gotten 2 Dragon Slaves offensively. G's got 2 bottles ready to go, and he's going to have to start bottle crowing, regardless of the fact that he got the first blood.
Yeah, and we'll see. For now, he holds. Sumail does get off a little bit of punish onto him, but he gets his bottle, refreshes up, gets right back into lane action here. Lil continues his little pull through here and helps to keep the Universe down a bit. But hey, the creep wave is in a beautiful spot for Universe, right under his tower. He's going to get some free and easy XP and just has to kind of tussle with Illidan as far as how the CS goes. For Illidan, no surprise, early Bassi pickup, probably going to be going for the Vlads. Could see a book there straight after. Sneaking into the Roche, I imagine, is on the agenda. Your standard lycanthrope things, unless maybe Virtus.pro have something cheeky in mind for a special TI.
It's possible, but I doubt the Lycan build has changed much. It's just the Necro 3 benefits so much from the Feral Impulse, increases their attack speed as well as their attack damage. Not to mention when you use your Shapeshift ability, it makes all your minions run max speed, so that build is very unlikely to change. They might be lacking some good way to disable the Ember Spirit. I feel like we're almost for sure going to have to see an Orchid out of Queen of Pain, since it's one of the best counters against Ember Spirit.
Yeah.
But they had issues with that earlier today as well, so maybe that won't be the solution either. It's going to be a bit of a tough game. I feel like the VP draft is very push heavy basically with some gank. So if they get ahead, I feel like they can definitely close out the game. But if they don't get ahead and EG is able to delay this, I think their synergy is really going to come together.
FNG in a bit of an awkward position here. Now, Aui's going to remove of their little sentry ward, and they plant their own here, which makes things a bit uncomfortable for Phobos as the lane will push back out. I figured maybe FNG would be able to depart once this Brood did get level 3 and a Soul Ring. He can kind of do his own thing, eventually move into the EG jungle.
Ooh, will they go on Fear here?
But
here comes the heal bomb.
Yep, they get a big catch. Not a lot of damage, though. Not enough Broods surrounding, apparently. And it's just going to end up chunking him down to about half life. That Flame Guard able to shrug off a lot of the damage, and he's going to be okay.
It bounced, basically. I think the heal wave bounced to the creep wave next to it instead. So it only did maybe 1 source, maybe 2 sources of Shadow Wave damage instead of up to 4. That easily could have dropped him to half HP if there's nobody around. So they can definitely still continue to poke this. They're moving back in, looking for the heal. Heal's going to miss this time, but the Spider's on top of Fear. Fear's in trouble. Flame Guard in 6. They're going for the dive. There's the nuke. He's down very low, 100, but the creeps are hitting him, and he is definitely dead. Oh,
no,
Flame Guard.
He's not. No, he is not. He got the chains off in a new Flame Guard, and he's like, I got to go, but G shows up out of the wild blue.
Oh, it worked.
He gets denied from the Ogres. Are you kidding me? But action still goes here. Bottom lane, Universe even shows up. Phobos way behind. Plops his own ward down. G's also getting involved. It's getting hot and heavy down here.
Really good escape there. The reason that worked out like it did is the spiders can stack infinitely on one point of contact until they take damage, and then they spread evenly, because otherwise it would be too hard to target them. So as soon as he turned on his flame guard, the spiders spread, and they can't just all attack at the same time and do massive damage. So as soon as his flame guard came off, they spread, and then the Scream Pain didn't kill him because the flame guard then blocked the magic damage. Great suicide coming out of Fear.
This is an awkward spot for Phobos. Aoi chases him back, and he had that sentry. He plops it down now. Phobos shows himself in lane. Still goes right back into the trees. But Universe has been drawn to this bottom lane for quite a while now. Is left top totally open and exposed for Illidan, who's just chunking down this tier 1 tower. Should be able to get it relatively easy. PPD's trying to get there to try to be a help, but it's very apparent that for both teams, they're putting a lot of attention towards this bottom lane. G is still here on his Queen of Pain. He has a new Sonic Wave now. Shows up, moves in, gets a brief poke onto Fear. Now Phobos comes in. The chains only connecting on the little Broodlings. There's the Sonic Wave, and it's going to get the catch. And now they look to retreat, but here comes Universe. Snowballs on forward. The Grave preemptively put out from FNG. He's trying to get rid of the freaking little single, but can't get it. Instead, does what damage he can onto Sumail. Ultimately accepts his fate, will go down. Universe picks that one up. But look at this. Phobos moves into Sumail. Sumail with a quick Laguna will end up going down. Phobos probably hands over his own life.
Oh, G might die as well.
Oh, they look back for G. G gets the blink off as the snowball does come in. He gets into the safety zone. Universe still on pursuit. Gets a good Ice Shards block. But G's able to turn the corner and make it away. Oh, when the dust does settle, looks like it ends up being a 2-for-2 trade. But that's 2 cores from the side of EG.
Yeah, they're just letting Fear get pressured too much. He just keeps dying here. He didn't have his level 6. He's got it now, so he's fairly survivable. I think they did a great job basically pressuring in there. He doesn't even have boots, actually. So no boots, got some regens, got a stout shield, but it's only going to do so much when you're diving in with 3 heroes. So EG is going to be able to stabilize a bit there at least, but it's looking a little bit bad for them. PPD is also a little underleveled, hasn't been able to hit level 3 just yet, and the top lane has been pushing in response to almost everybody being bought by the Broods. Their strat's been working out really nice. Guaranteed the Brood does well by having Dazzle there. In the meantime, they're going to abandon the off lane, and Lycan can just do whatever the heck he wants. Get his fast Vlads. He's got 50 CS at 8 minutes, and his Vlads will be finished soon, and from there, insane jungling and more tower pushing than a Bloodseeker ever could. So,
I mean,
yeah.
The way the map is spread right now is the way we could see the majority of this game. DK Phobos planting strong on the bottom, split pushing, and then, you know, Illidan doing work on the top up until he's ready to, you know, maybe venture out, do your Rosh and other objectives. It's forcing EG to commit to one side or the other, and even on where they commit, they're not necessarily coming out on top. They're trading even, which might be to the better of, you know, Virtus.pro at this point, if they're able to just get more of the objectives and more stuff done on the side. And they're not even committing their full 5-man group, so seems like they're in a very nice spot now. Look at these stacks that have been built up from Lil. G goes back and is going to start bursting it down.
That's some good farm. He's got 3 kills to his name on Quap. He's actually got very, very low CS, very uncharacteristic for G, but because they focus so much on the bot lane, they did hurt Fear's gold gain by a huge amount, and now he's able to catch up a bit with those neutral stacks. But he had 28 CS at the almost 9-minute mark, super low for Queen of Pain, especially a player of G's ability. And because of that, Sumail pretty much just had free farm in the mid lane, despite 2 deaths on him. He's got 50 CS already in 9 minutes, and now he gets his neutral stacks. So all the low experience that PPD had for the whole game is starting to pay off and translate to his carry or his mid getting that gold.
The selfless one, PPD, man.
It really is.
We'll have to see. For now, hangs out around mid lane, and for whoever lacking farm he gets support, he hands it over to his comrade Aoi as well, trying to get that level 6, that Mystic Flare. I already talked about a bit of the combo action they had on the side of EG. They want to put that to use as soon as possible. You know, when they know Virtus.pro are usually not going to be rolling as a 5-man squad, they want to bring all they can to these fights so that they can take advantage of what they got in numbers. Ain't going to be easy, though. And now Virtus.pro taking up the majority of this bottom lane now, scouting to see if they can catch any EG members farming on the other side. Look at this deep ward Lil's going to put down.
I like what the Wolves did, too. They blocked 2 camps here. Moved all the way over, tapped the lane. Oh, dive going on bot.
Oh, they're committing on behind the tower here. Snowball flies out. They're trying to draw him as far from the tower as possible. He's going to need some help. Yeah, he just tries to muscle his way, breaking down the trees, but a stolen shards is going to be the kill right there. Coming out from Lil. Universe goes down. Virtus.pro, man, almost suffocating Evil Geniuses. Look at this. Oh, Illidan might be caught out. Whoa! He goes down there at the end. Aoi catches him with a nice little concussive shot. No running from that one, regardless of how fast. Now it's Sumail. A Sonic Wave for him is going to take him out.
No mana for...
G is committed. These dragons hate him.
Good self.
And the salvo will help out from this little arcane bolt. He makes it away. Owie's still in pursuit, though. Look at him go.
Oh, he's got the blink.
He tried to get the concussive shot off, but the blink was already there. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. A Corlina for Illidan.
Not bad. That's pretty good for EG, I think. Considering how pressured they are, getting trades like that are going to be really good for them. Any gold advantage that your opponents have over you is going to give you some slight comeback potential. Believe it or not, it does still exist in the game. It's just in a very balanced rate at the current moment. Because people don't complain about it, right? So I think it's in a good spot, honestly. So
and the XP is still very much there, too.
I believe so, yeah. I haven't ran the math compared to last patch, but it seems like it's in a good spot.
G gets hit with a fissure. LSA not going to be enough to connect, so he's able to blink away from the trouble.
That's a hard gank.
Bottle trade-off here.
He didn't even have Laguna Blade anyways. Very low chance. A bit of a smoke going from EG. They're shifting to the bot lane. I guess they're going to go for the Brood. One good way to do the smoke. Run in front, drop the dust as soon as it goes away. And then, oh, they actually break on the Dazzle, who's actually just standing in the jungle. Does he realize?
No, and they don't pop the dust, which is good. They drop a new sentry. They're like, what the hell's happening here? But what they didn't know is FNG's waiting behind that camp. He heads out. PPD was en route, but it's too late. He's already gone. And this could be an EG smoke gate leading to nothing. DK Phobos is just going to plant himself in the tree line, occasionally popping out, trying to take some broodlings. Uh-oh, they move in. The second he does show himself, they got him. Fissure and a Mystic Flare. The first one of the game is going to take down DK Phobos. That pesky spider gets squashed. But I can't help but react. Now, we do have a bit of a pause here coming out from the side of EG, but when they do a committed dive on something like that, I'm sure Virtus.pro are doing something else elsewhere. Look at this. They got Roche, right?
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
That's Lycan's job, man. Go for the Roche. Kill it down. Rubik was there as well, just in case things got a little scary. Ice shards, he could actually just close Roche off, be like, nope, not coming in. Drop the ice down, finish off the Roche, throw somebody on a cliff, something like that would have been good. So committing to that and splitting some experience there. And that's the Aegis, so Lycan's going to be happy with that one.
Oh, yeah. So Phobos goes down, but really he's secretly laughing. Space created for the rest of my team. And they got their Aegis. And look at this. They just do a quick smoke back here. Not under any ward. They're going to look to invade. Oh, and they get a brief glimpse. Immediately Illidan goes into wolf form, and they are on the chase. And uh-oh, little Owie is going to get taken apart. Immediately annihilated. Now they look for PPD. He's able to get the Fissure off, but he is trapped in the shards, and he goes down. Quick two-man drop after the conclusion of taking down the Roche and grabbing the Aegis. Now Virtus.pro advance towards this tier 1 in the mid lane.
That was really nicely done by VP there. Grab the Aegis, back off, smoke, turn back around when your wards were still there, and look for the fight. And they got to go on the two squishiest heroes on EG and the ones that normally back up the rest of their team. Two fast kills. That's gonna be a tower. Fissure comes. They grab Universe, throwing him back. Ulti as well. He gets so low. Will he snowball onto something? I'm not sure. He's gonna get it time.
Oh man, Lil, what a player he is. He leads in that last skirmish with some good shards blocked. Then he steals PPD's Fissure, uses it there on to Universe. Lifts him up thereafter, steals the shards, and kills him with the shards.
So he did lose Fissure to guarantee that kill by stealing ice shards, but it's still worth it for the kill, and they got the tier 1, and the pressure is on now. VP has the gold advantage. They have the pushing heroes. Lycan will really start building the major damage items next. G almost dying top, apparently, to Fear. And how's Fear doing? Treads, Wand, with a Ring of Health. Looks like it will be the Perseverance into Battle Fury build. Yep. Very, very good against Broodmother Spiders, helps with the Lycan Wolves, all that stuff. But EG needs to delay for at least 20 minutes until they're ready to fight.
I don't think Virtus.pro are going to allow them to do so. Whenever they look to put at attention one of these different lanes, you could have DK Phobos creeping in here on the bottom. And if they address DK Phobos, you're going to have frickin' Illidan coming in from the northern side. He's already getting to this tier 2 tower. And there's not going to be much of a threat. Only Fear is here for now. The rest of EG are just waiting in hopes that DK Phobos shows himself. Now, he did there. They ping it out. Are they going to quick shards run in and pop a dust? Well, nope. They're not going to get the vision with that sentry. DK Phobos, very passive spot, way behind here. He's just happy to draw this attention to himself.
And this is going to be a naked Orchid for the Broodmother, which means he doesn't have any boots yet. Normally this is a huge issue, but because he's in the spin webs, he's got an extra 70% move speed with 4 levels of web here. So he can get away with it, just rushing it as fast as possible. That way, if he does end up finding a solo Ember Spirit, he can try to get that kill. It's not going to work against Lina, though. She's already got her Yules picked up, and she's going to be using that to go look for kills right now.
Here comes Virtus.pro, though, smoked up.
Ooh, broke. And the creep found him. He's in a lot of trouble here.
Oh,
he's going to have to grave TP, I think.
Finchi gets caught with a fissure. He's got to go, or he might get imprisoned here. 2 seconds time, the shards will be up.
No, they're too worried to go in on that. They maybe could have snowballed in and done the full combo, but then they would have been way out of position, and whoever else was there for VP could have just turned in. Very likely just blown him up.
Looks like they want this tier 2, though. They send all the little broodlings in. They're getting the right-click damage out there.
Howl damage, too.
Yeah, they hit so freaking hard. They'll glyph for now, but it's not going to stop them. Oh, smoke back comes out from EG. Now they move forward. A snowball, but it's only with Universe and company. What a grave. Helps out Lil from the Mystic Flare. He is going to get the Yules now. Should go down immediately thereafter. Is going to get dropped here. Shows up. Jumps right in, but not going to get the chains connection. Doesn't matter for FNG. Goes down regardless.
Great
They
fight.
end up getting 2 themselves here on the bottom lane, plus the tower denied.
They did that so well. Man, I was like, oh, they're not defending very well. The tower's about to die, and bam, they slam right in. The Rubik was too far forward, and because of that punishment, he ends up getting killed. He's going to turn around. No, he's just going to farm. He's got Aegis, he's got a Necro 1. He's feeling pretty good about this right now. He doesn't have to worry too much about dying. When his ultimate runs out, then he's got to get out. But the 650 movement speed Lycan is going to be A-okay. Runs back to the jungle and onto the farming. So
yeah, good quick reaction from EG. They knew that the pressure was going to be coming because they were dealing with that bottom lane. Can't help but chuckle when I see a shapeshift Lycan get uppercutted like that. But back in action here. Yeah, right? It just looks so awkward. Yeah. But I like the build-up Fear has. A little different than we see for other Ember Spirits, you know, doing the power treads to get a bit of life instead of the drums.
And extra mana value when you're in the safe lane and don't have a bottle.
That's true. You can always tread swap as well if you need that extra little intel burst, but he's going right for the magical cleave and wants to be able to accelerate that farm. Helps deal with the split push quite a bit. You know, possible Wolf Army, Necro Book, DK Phobos and his Broodlings. Look at these frickin' things.
That's gold right there.
Yeah, it's potential gold to be made from someone like Fear if he's able to crit them all down or just slice them apart.
Or Lina. Lina's in a pretty good place to kill Spiderlings as well.
Yes.
So also slightly worry about dying as more and more levels of the incapacity and bite get picked up by Brood to slow people. But as a whole, he's just going to continue the farming. 121 CS for him, top of the charts. And he went Arcane Boots next, so I'm going to assume he's going for the Bloodstone build again, because you can eventually disassemble.
Yep.
Otherwise, why build it this late? Last game, he got the Soul Ring before getting the Arcanes, I believe. But often for the Arcanes this time.
Now, it looks like Virtus.pro are just going to kind of wait at attention here. We still got plenty of time before the new Roche is going to be up, but they're already taking measures as far as scouting out the area and making sure they get their own D ward and their own little intel. And then they decide to kind of step back and do their own thing. Good farm time, though, for Fear to finish out that Battle Fury here at the top. We look over the rest of the item progression, more so for some of these support teams. Looking to Owie, he's going to go for a very similar build from what we saw in the last time. Looks like he's going to go right for the mech first. And one for PPD, your selfless one, still hasn't gotten that late soul ring we like to see him grab. And then your 30-minute blink dagger typically.
Yeah, it eventually comes through as they win fights and win fights. And for now, he's just aiming to do a fissure, and maybe if things get crazy in Echo Slam. And it's a great Echo Slam possibility because they've got spiders, they've got wolves. I mean, maybe he worries about dying in Echo 3, but you know the way Echo works is, found out from a Reddit video recently, it doesn't necessarily have to do with the AoE around Earthshaker. It's the Echo jumping from hero to creep to hero. I think they bounce maximum like 2 times or something like that. So it's actually a pretty big AoE, and if there's a lot of creeps, it can really do a ton of damage.
Yeah. Typically a solid pickup when you see those PLs pop out, but definitely could go to a lot of strong work here, specifically against that Broodmother. And even Lycan with this huge swarm of army, that could end up being a weapon against them.
Spotted from the Lycan Wolves. Sumail walking right into everybody.
Lift, pull back, silence, immediate Yules after.
He's got a haste.
But no, he's just manhandled right there. They get the help from G and that Sonic Wave, and the rest of EG call out the sound of retreat. Owie's already gone. Fear pieces out. Virtus.pro get the one quick kill. Illidan in shapeshift. He is beelining it towards this tier 2. They want to get as much damage as possible, if not take it down outright.
And the Orchids are out to play. Orchid on Broodmother, Orchid on Queen of Pain as well. For now, they're going to give them a huge teamfight advantage due to the silences. 20 minutes later, might not be quite the same when the BKBs come out, but for now, very, very strong and a very easy kill on Sumail. Fear's almost got his Battle Fury as well, missing about 800 gold, but the pressure continues. They only have one outer tower remaining, and it's the tier 2. On the bright side, this means that Broodmother's viability becomes a little bit weaker because there aren't, when you have less limbs to defend,
yeah.
If you just got to defend your core, then you are, it makes it a little bit easier. So they'll have that at least, and their farm rate has been quite good, so they're keeping up with that as well.
Virtus.pro, though, with this huge map control, are able to just take most of the farm. It leaves EG in this bit of starved, corralled position, I like to say, and it's like, whatever limited farm they're able to get to, you have to prioritize that towards someone like Fear and Sumail, which leaves kind of everyone else with not much to be desired. And they kind of have to act as just kind of the backstaff in hopes that when someone like Sumail now takes this risk farming out this bottom lane, you're just hoping that it maybe VP make a jump onto him and you can get a quick return pounce. But other than that, you're just hoping to claim your woods back, find little scraps of farm, because it's very, very limited here for EG. Unless they're able to take big fights and take the game back, it's going to continue to be like that. Virtus.pro now, Roche is up, they go right in, and I don't see any way EG are going to stop him from doing it.
And they got a Necro 3 now on Illidan here, so even more damage coming from his illusions. That gives them true sight as well. They can de-ward with this, and another Roche to them with an Aegis on G, actually. Doesn't have his BKB yet. Could very easily get bursted down, so smarter to have it on him rather than the guy that's really just a farming machine and can run max movement speed. So I like the choice here.
Yeah, and then you get kind of that awkward spot where you have to save Shapeshift for maybe the second life, but sometimes you need to use on that first life to get the most out of the fight. So Queen of Pain could definitely offer a lot, at least for now. Probably something they're going to look to give to Illidan later on, but they're already pressuring out this mid lane. EG taking measures. They go to what they think is the safest spot on the map, and it is right now the Virtus.pro woods. So go farm up that area where it's not really warded, not really contested, and just get what they can. And then the second they come a knock-in at the high ground, they will have to pull back. But this looks like their last outer tower will go down uncontested.
And they did actually smoke to move up to here, so I think they were expecting VP to retreat potentially after the Aegis, but instead they said, no, we'll push a bit. And then upon seeing EG up there, they went for the tier 2 tower very easily. So they're going to have to go back now. Battle Fury's up on Ember Spirit. This is exactly what they need. They have the timing window here. Their towers are still up. They're about 80% right now. So they can defend this, definitely. VP's got to be very careful. They can't make a mistake like before because it's going to buy EG more time. And as the game goes super, super late, they'll eventually get outplayed here. Searing Chain's missing on the Quap, and they're trying to zone back the Spiders as well.
They don't have the luxurious Blink Dagger yet on your Earthshaker, which would be a huge force for high ground defense. But you never know. With a nice little setup of Yules, a lead-in Fisher, he could always walk in there and do some devastating work. And while they continue to kind of eyeball the mid lane, DK Phobos continues to be a little pest on his little broodling here in the bottom, poking at the high ground a bit, and he even's able to kind of sidestep and take away the closest farm available for EG in that little camp. So it's not looking like it's going to be an easy time for EG to find the farm available. If they have to smoke and head to the top of the map to find good farm, that's
they're
not good.
Mid.
Here they go, converging from all fronts. Fear, they're going to lead in with the lift back. Does he have the remnant to get away to? Slide of fist first. Oh, whoa! Call that man Houdini. How the hell did he get out of there?
So close to dying, and then just gone across half the map. I can just think about Fear. He's just straight face looking at his monitor, spamming the button like, please, please. And he made it.
That's just Virtus.pro saying, don't try to go out too far. We'll jump you.
If they had either of the Orchids there, he would have died there too. Like, they didn't have Quap in the area, and they didn't have Brood. Brood dies in the meantime, by the way, dying to Lina. So Sumail getting that kill. He's got to be awfully close to his Bloodstone. Yeah, he's about 20 gold away from that one, 80 gold. And he's ready to go with that.
Looks like just scouted out. Nice thing, they have the tusk, so the little Sigil was able to kind of give him that scouting vision into the tree so they could see where exactly the Brood is, and they probably just caught him out and finished him off with a quick Laguna. So yeah, nicely done. And there's PPD's Soul Ring. It comes later than most Earthshakers, but it's right on time for PPD.
I just can't believe that he can play a whole game with only a Magic Wand and an Arcane Boot on an ally, and that's all he needs for mana. It's incredible. Like, he must be so careful with this Fissure. He's like, oh, if I Fissure here, I'm not going to have mana for like 65 seconds. Should I do it? And yet he almost always, it always seems like he's still being valuable as
very relevant to all the fights and everything. Yeah, you're right.
That'd be very difficult to do. Gem is up on Skywrath Mage. It must have been purchased. No mech just yet for Sky. But he's having a great game, despite them playing from behind all game. 3-1 and 2 on a support Sky is amazing.
Curious to see when Virtus.pro do decide to kind of press their advantage a bit here, Purge. They have that Aegis still in hand. And I imagine they would love to probably make a go maybe even split push if they try to add pressure on like the mid lane and continue to have Phobos do work on the bottom. They got to be able to break through in some sense and get some work in. But if they wait too long here, they're not going to have the advantage of that second life. Yeah. So we'll see how long they decide to wait. Maybe they're waiting out for that next big item here. Something just purchased here. Oh, there's a BKB. It's probably the Illidan BKB they could be waiting for, or Queen of Pain. They both have low gold.
I don't think she'll die. Yeah, she gets out no problem.
Oh, yeah, she already has hers actually at a shiny new 10 seconds. It's the Illidan BKB. Now there's 2 hammers in this Golden Courier. So it looks like they're just going to wait, itemize a bit, and then decide to push on in. Yeah,
Broodmother's only about 500 gold. Him dying before actually must have really set him back from his BKB because he really wants to have his BKB for the fight. But EG's in a pretty good spot here. The Bloodstone's finished on Sumail. If things get really bad, he can suicide. I think they're pretty happy with the position. They have that gem as well, so even if they do leave the base, they can scout out the Wolves that are looking to set up vision advantage over them. And here comes that gold gain. Necro 3-man, 200 gold apiece. They miss it. It's out, and it dies to a tower.
Virtus.pro are hitting them from all fronts. They're going from bottom to mid, then they hit him up there at the top. Now back to bottom once more. Phobos as he inches in and out these little broodlings. That tier 3 has already been withered down to a half life just within that small window of time.
It's hard to defend from 3 waves, but they've got the right heroes for it. Lina, Ember Spirit, great wave clear, and Lina, building more as a carry, tons of mana. She'll be able to easily handle this as the game continues.
And they no longer have the Aegis. Oh, Universe charging in once Phobos doesn't catch him with the shards, and not going to be able to scout him out at this point. So he's able to kind of etch away. Didn't want to be met with the same fate as before. Looks like
they're going to find him. They're going to find him.
Oh, they see him now. Oh, I jinxed him. Sorry. Sorry, Phobos. Cast your curse, but they do end up scouting him out. Quick uppercut, quick Laguna, and the spider has been squished.
So gem paying off really good now, and this is basically the point of the game where Brood usually does fall off. He actually hasn't really snowballed in his lane. 0-4 and 3 on the Brood. He's gotten lots of last hits at 145, but once you don't have the ability to take a tower and it becomes harder to pressure it, you're just put in a weird spot, and he has almost all of his nets positioned around the bot lane, and it's just a big lane of nets. He doesn't have them through the jungle, so he can't really safely farm the jungle. He's just in a really weird spot. He keeps being about 400 gold away from his Black King bar. He was playing safe there, but he got spotted.
Yeah, with all these wards just kind of being strung along the lane side, it becomes pretty obvious where he might be hiding if he's not able to have any in the woods. So by deduction, EG just kind of do their sweep across the whole bottom.
Check
Eventually,
everyone.
They catch him. Oh, a smoke move out here. And it's just going to be PPD and Universe hiding under the dark. Maybe hoping to hide behind Fear.
Ooh, Shadowblade on Tusk, by the way. Interesting pickup. You can Shadowblade and then Walrus Punch. I don't know if you get bonus damage from the Shadowblade damage, but it definitely will add to your overall damage.
Yes.
So it's a good way to also initiate with the blink, and then Punch. Oh, here comes Punch up for G. Ulti as well. There's the stun. Exactly what you were talking about, man. Can't even pop the BKB.
No, it just happened so damn fast. I remember when Fluff drafted it for the Root Gaming lineup, that wasn't even the initial intention, but once they did it that one time, they did it like 4 times straight, and they're just like, this kind of works.
Yeah.
And it happened so quick and so fast, you don't have the time to respond. And you see it right there as G hits the deck. He still has 10 seconds on that BKB, but there's not just a way to respond. And I agree, when you're able to kind of move out that far as EG, you can definitely get the jump onto him. Shadowblade can be risky, though, once the pressure comes to their front, because there's a Necro 3 out there moving about, and you got to make sure you're not going to be spotted trying to be a bit too ballsy. And look at that. The response right away, FNG buys his own gem.
They have to, because they're losing the vision advantage here, and they're losing the farm advantage, and they need to take a Rax, but it's too difficult. And EG is slowly inching back their advantage that they have done every single game today, really, except for the one where it was completely one-sided. Every other game, they're like, we know how you're playing, we're going to outplay you, we're going to limit our deaths massively on our supports, despite us. I mean, they really should have died a lot more, but they've just been completely safe with their plays, and VP hasn't been able to punish them, really. So it's been tough.
He's going to return back to base. He's able to snag up that mech. And again, the Bloodstone pickup here for Sumail. Now up to 9 charges. And
he's going to X this game, it looks like.
He has the point booster for now.
I think this is smart. Good against the Quap build BKB, and her HP is still a bit low since she doesn't have Ags yet. The Broodmother's got a BKB. He's only got 1270 HP.
Illidan has a BKB
Illidan
as well.
has a BKB. It really is the Ags game. It's cool to see the synergy that we saw earlier today, but there's so many good BKB targets that if you just kill them, you win. You still have to worry about Dazzle, though. That's the other problem. But he can one-shot this Dazzle as soon as he gets Eggs.
That's true. And I love the way they're able to get those quick bursts, because if Virtus.pro try to do their more split lineup, EG can quickly address one of the sides, get the quick kill with like a Walrus Punch Mystic Flare, and then double back and be ready to take a fight where they have their own advantage in numbers and still have something available and ready like that Laguna. And as the clock does continue to tick, Ember Spirit continues to get stronger and stronger, Purge, which means their high ground gets stronger and stronger, and eventually he's just going to be farming in this huge siege army that Virtus.pro has. But, oh man, Owie getting caught off in the mid lane.
So Blink Light Strike Array. So the instant cast time there, plus the silence from the Queen of Pain, very, very easy kill. He was able to mech himself, but obviously that's not going to make the difference. And this gives him a first chance of actually going high ground for first time in a while, that is.
Yeah. The Sonic Wave also used, I don't know if that was mentioned or not, but that means it's down for over a minute now.
Yeah, very long.
2 minutes, so.
Oh, Curry got sniped.
Yeah, it gets quickly snagged up. We see the back end of it from Illidan as he charges in. He is going to get chained up. No Sumail committed Laguna yet, but Universe does move in. Uppercut, turns the corner.
Big grave.
What a grave save from FNG. Not going to get caught with the Laguna finish there. And with that, we'll be able to quickly retreat out from trouble.
And VP pings out Roche. They scouted out with their Spiders. Spiders are going to die very fast to Roche, but they need at least the Lycan to be here. But he is so low from that fight that it's going to be a bit. Can EG get out and contest? That is the real question. They don't have any vision in the area, and they're just going to try to push out the rest of their lanes for now.
Relieve the pressure while they can.
They didn't lose the gem either when AUI died. It's on Tusk.
Oh, very nice. He's already on the hunt for Brood, potentially.
Yeah.
Not going to be there, though. It's Virtus.pro who are already in the Roche here. We'll see if EG decide to cut north and scout it out or not. One little Broodling, though, also going to help scout out and see if anyone's coming in. It looks like not. Another uncontested Roche here for Virtus.pro. A cheese one at that. Is it a cheese one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was the third.
It just got picked up so quick. G has it. All right.
32 minutes, 3 Roches have died. It's amazing. Might see PPD get caught here. So close to Blink Dagger. This is going to be really bad for him. 2,100 gold. They actually curve mid instead of south to the camp. That's really unfortunate. Lil here would have gotten his smoke broken and he could have spotted. Oh my god, he stole Laguna Blade. He stole level 3 Laguna Blade.
Let me see this man right here. Oh my god.
That is so scary.
We'll see if they know. This is going to be sketchy here. Virtus.pro certainly have all the tools you could ask for as a team to make this kind of a push. Aegis in hand, a Laguna now stolen. But PPD gets that Blink Dagger Purge. I don't think Virtus.pro know that. They could be welcomed by a crazy Echo.
Definitely
right on the front door of EG.
Still the Aegis on Lycan, obviously, since he just picked it up. But they got to be so careful of Blow. He's going to solo kill somebody here.
Oh, man.
FNG on the back. Just brown boots, gem, staff of wizardry. Almost nothing for survivability. He's even got a couple stat levels.
He's like, I'm just here to grave, baby. I'm just here to frickin' grave.
The poverty grave, man. Nothing else.
It worked in that last little skirmish. He's like, I don't care. That's all I need. Level 4 grave. I'll pop out from the trees, get my save. If I die after, so be it.
Fear of split pushing top, I guess. He's cutting the midway. Very smart to do here. Because as he does this, it means they only have to defend more. Rubik kills Sky with Mage, though.
Oh, man, they move in so quick. They immediately get the quick kill, and now Illidan looking to go for the tower, start chucking it down. Fear to show up here, gets the chains, but BKB. Illidan shrugs it off with the BKB. They're looking to move in. PPD still nursing this Echo for the Dream setup. Oh, briefly, there was a 3-man setup there, but it's just not aligning. And with that, they're going to be losing 1 Rax, just the range Rax mid lane.
Not bad.
Melee still standing, makes it fair.
Considering the Laguna Blade that Lil had there, it was way more burst damage than they anticipated. So they get the kill. They can't really sustain nearly as well as previous builds. Well, now they can. They've got Ags on Queen of Pain. That was really what they were missing. They didn't have the ability to just throw that out for the guaranteed kill. It was more important to save it for potentially killing the cores. Oh, that was cool. Illusion spawn? You suppose you didn't catch it. He was Sleight of Fisting, and he spawned the illusions. Oh, it was a Manta, sorry. That's cool. So while he's Sleight of Fisting and hopping from hero to hero, boom, 2 illusions pop out.
Nice.
That's cool.
I want to see him get a Dagon. Slide of fist, a mini Dagon thereafter.
Slide of fist and a Dagon. It's kind of cool, but so just by that damage, man. The Slide of fist, he was already slapping everybody for bonus. Why not go for it?
I was curious if Lil was going to try to utilize this Laguna one more time because it's such a low cooldown, and he actually still has it for a little while longer, but it looks like it will expire.
Unfortunately,
so he's going to have to head back. Won't have the luxury of that huge nuke, but does show a bit of a threat. Sumail can't carelessly leave that out there as an option here for the little Rubik. EG moving out from the safety of their home here, pressing on the bottom, and it looks like they'll then pull back. But it is pinged out here. It looks like Virtus.pro looking to maybe move in there. But
FNG puts the ward down.
He's got to be careful here. He could be caught out in the wrong neighborhood. What is Fear doing?
Could be. Fear is doing the old cut the wave mid. He did this before. He stood here, waited for the creep wave spawn in 2 seconds, and then he goes, oh, fight happening.
In 2 seconds, G gets uppercutted, Mystic flared, but he gets a grave for the save. The Yules is going to lock him in place, and they're going to finish what they started and take him down. Universe, though, could be the trade. Fissure stolen here from Lil, but he's silenced up and on the run. Running right towards Illidan, who shows up. The big bad wolf is here, and he's ready to just maul right through Owie. But Sumail gets his own kill, annihilating FNG. Over hate there. Illidan cleans up Owie. Lil gets a quick snag. Just the LS blinks in, moves, can't catch that PPD, and he's able to go down. Meanwhile, Illidan able to clear out and finish off Tusk. And now Virtus.pro charging on towards the EG base. This is all the meanwhile. Fear cutting these waves was unable to participate.
So they steal the gem from their opponents. They have an Aghanim Scepter on the Rubik now. And he again steals a really important ability, Light Strike Array. One of the best. It's 7-second cooldowns for 2.5-second disable. He can absolutely outplay his opponents with this. So not the best fight for EG there. Losing the gem, losing their supports. Tusk almost got away due to the snowball blink, but the Lycan was able to hit him just in time, and it scored the kill. They still haven't burned through the Aegis on the Lycan.
Yep. And he's got Shapeshift again now. Already ready. And now we'll see. Fear is just going to start going to work here. Same with Sumail. Don't really bring down a lot of the Broodlings here, but they keep the creep wave back.
Oh, silence on Ember Spirit.
But no, he's going to just step away from that. G already rotated back to the mid lane here to kind of keep this lane pressured back towards the other side. They don't want to risk being stuck in this one-way street trying to go into EG's base. That makes it a bit too clustered and a bit too easy of an opportunity for someone like PPD to jump in and have a big turnaround. They want the pressure to come from all fronts. That's what their lineup is made to do. They're not looking to be caught out on one single side.
Well, they're about to go high ground scouting out with the Wolf. One of the best things about Wolves in the late game. He's going to ulti for this. I guess he's just going to summon and run right in. Yeah. And there they go. They've got a glyph ready to go, but will they use it just yet? No glyph popped just yet. And Snowball first. They're going to blink out. They just want to kill these if they can. Sleight of Fist comes through, does a lot of damage. BKB as well. Ult.
Nope, back right after. Not going to be enough damage. They look to go for the Rax instead and decide to pull back as the BKB does expire. Lil gets a pullback, swipes chains for himself, and will force out to safety. Not that much structural damage here, and Phobos unable to get a lot done on the bottom either. This tier 3 on the bottom now brought down to about a third of its life. But Virtus.pro coming up short and probably the objective they were hoping to grab. Aegis also expired, no longer available. They do, of course, still have the cheese. It's on G here. But it's proving to be a bit difficult here for Virtus.pro to try to get at least these first set of Raxes down.
And every time that they do that, they're feeding more and more gold to the Ember Spirit, because he Sleight of Fist hits everything, gets some cleave, and every time he kills a Necro, that's 200 gold. 2 Necros, that's like getting a kill.
Yep.
Like, it's just going to power level him a bit. Like, he's 0-2-1. Like, it's such a weird game. Very, very low kill despite the time, but both teams playing very safe, and EG is really getting the most out of this, I feel, because they were moderately behind in the early game due to VP over pushing and getting tower gold and all that good stuff. FNG gonna get caught. There's the snowball. He's gonna be able to punch him easily if he ends up trying to TP, but there's the slow coming through, and Illidan as well pops BKB. AOI looks awfully dead here.
Oh, man.
Fissure's gonna try to help him, but it doesn't do anything.
Now he's able to blink away. Fear is going for the rest of VP. Gets welcomed with an immediate catch of a sonic wave, and he's going to be forced to retreat. The rest of company making a go. Sumail looks to go in. It's a go on Illidan, but the shallow grave is going to save him out. G gets a quick sweep. PPD is going to be going down. Echo was expended, but obviously didn't seem to have a huge impact in this fight as Virtus.pro slowly take down 2, and now they're going to be able to ascend into the high ground mid lane without the threat of an Earthshaker or a Skywrath Mage being present. They're going to see if they can break down this set of racks. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're also looking to infiltrate. Universe trying to keep him back in at bay, but can't quite do it. Buyback from PPD, moves in, gets silenced immediately from G.
He's in trouble.
But now G's in a bit of trouble. They snowball in. Look at Sumail from behind here, tries to get the catch, does not get the LSA. Lil takes it, they Laguna take down the
huge
Dazzle.
ult.
Huge ult from G. Catches a sonic wave onto the back line.
Great stun from Sumail.
And they're going to get the catch. They take down Lil. Now Sumail on the run. Illidan going to make a chase on the Sumail. Decides to pull back, and what a setup on the G. They get a big Mystic Flare, and they take him apart. Phobos back at bottom lane. That tier 3 finally dropped. Oh, what a Yules. Not going to get caught with the
Fear's got him.
And
he's
Fear
got
goes
the
right
gem.
back, and he sees him, and he slashes him apart.
They won that? I was like, oh man, EG is totally screwed now. PPD bought back. He died with almost nothing accomplished, but they just barely edged out the win in that fight. That was so absolutely close. They got the gem back again. No buildings dead except for that tier 3 tower. That's it. No more Raxes. Fear gets more gold, 1,800 in the bank here. He didn't even buy back in that fight. This is looking really good for him, and that's the Daedalus on the way. He purchased that as he won that last fight.
That's got to be a bit concerning now for Virtus.pro and fans. Unable to really get a lot done. The fight being split apart so much.
Yeah.
Fear being able to keep 3 of Virtus.pro kind of back in at bay and allowed the rest of EG to kind of do work onto Phobos and to G and company really helped out. And now look at this, just Fear putting the team on his back, charging down this mid lane, going right for the tier 2. Now he hits like a truck, moves in, catches a big slide of fist, brings Lil a chunk of his life, a quarter of it. Illidan also forced to step back. They're picking out like they might want to consider a go on to Fear here, but do they have the tools? We'll have to see.
He's got a Remnant up, so if things get a little scary, he can jump all the way back wherever his Remnant is. Puts another one down and on to the tier 2. AUI's got his Guardian Greaves picked up, so he doesn't have to worry about silence nearly as much as he did before.
Yep.
So they're all in a really good spot right here. The only thing that's dangerous is getting Rax, and with VP on the defense here, even if they do get killed, they have the potential time to respawn or buy back and defend. But they've used a lot of buybacks in that last fight.
Yeah.
It was a Tusk buyback and a Sugar one.
Oh man, they move in for Sumail. Beautiful pullback into the stolen LSA.
Snowball.
And he goes into his own snowball. BKB pop from Fear. What a sonic wave coming out from G. Gets a big connection. PPD goes down. Sumail. A Laguna off before he's going to get dropped as he kills Lil. G gets saved with a shallow grave, but Fear still holding strong. Gets off one brief slide of fist before he does eject out of there. 2 go down from the side of EG. Only Lil on the side of Virtus.pro.
Good fight by them. Rubik again did the blink setup into Light Strike Array. And this is where Sumail really needs a BKB. This game, the previous game we played, Lina, he opted for BKB over Aghanim Scepter. And I think the Ags was the right choice here, but he's really lacking the survivability here. Like, he's getting orchided and he's screwed, and he got stunned into chain stun. If they could just save him with Snowball and he pops out with 80% HP and pops BKB, he does whatever he wants, and instead he has to panic and throw out as much as he can before he dies, and that was really tough for him to do, but he still got a kill out of it, which is good.
Another Roche, the 4th one of this game in 42 minutes now, going down. Aegis in the pocket of G, it looks like once more. FNG picking up the cheese for himself. Possibly looking to hand it off later on. And this is another tool for Virtus.pro to give it another college try-purge right back at the EG base if they want. But again, the defenses grow stronger and stronger as time goes on here, especially with Fear. Now 4K farmed up in his Ember Spirit. Is it like a double Daedalus kind of a game? Are we already thinking Rapier territory, doubling up on the cleave? We know how high of a ceiling Ember is, but where does he need to go in this kind of game?
He's very, I feel like he's pretty survivable right now. They do have quite a few disables coming out of just the Rubik alone, basically. Other than that, silences. So I think Rapier is a decent pick here. It's definitely not going to be a Scotty, because Scotty doesn't do very much against either Quap or the Lycan. So I think he just pumps his damage up, and his team's goal is just to stay alive long enough to let him slide a fist about 4 times. And if they can do that, he's going to quickly work his opponents down and give them a really good shot at winning the team fight. So I think it's got to be, it's about Rapier time.
Oh, wow, they're moving in. EG feeling confident. They want to go right for Illidan, but it's off the mark. The snowball lead in, not quite catching. A response of a BKB and a shapeshift Illidan on the chase, trying to get a hold of Universe here. Gets a brief glimmer, but that Necro book scouts him out. Sumail, though, catches out Illidan, throws him up into Yules, and allows the safety escape. But Fear, yeah, he's going in for it. Illidan's in a bit of trouble here.
Oh, this is dangerous now.
Gets forced away. Sonic Wave, not the biggest of damage here, trying to go for Sumail and Fear. Illidan gets saved from a grave, but the Laguna, and a response from Lil. Gets the return kill onto Fear. And forces the buyback, and he'll have to go for a second try. Virtus.pro, do they decide to disengage seeing that buyback now?
I mean, oh, they also lost Rex on the bottom.
Freaking Phobos, man.
That was Broodmother back out there. He doesn't even have that many damage items. Just Lincoln's BKB Orchid, and bam, Rex is gone. EG lost a lot with that one.
Oh.
That was a buyback on Ember Spirit. He's still got a lot of gold somehow. I guess his buyback was only about 1,600, so, you know, not terrible. They also burn the Aegis. They still have the cheese. Looks like the cheese has been used or passed. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, she's on the Rubik now. So, and he stole Laguna Blade again. That's 950 pure damage that goes through BKB. Lil is playing amazing this game.
Showing off why Virtus.pro go to this hero time and time again, specifically in the hands of Lil, man. He is putting in the work here. And, well, so is Phobos, apparently. I was sleeping on Phobos there. I forgot he was in the game, and apparently so did EG, because while everything broke out, he just was infiltrating, and he just got work done in the bottom of the EG base.
Ooh.
They committed an ulti here, yeah, from Illidan.
It's pretty low cooldown at this point, 60 seconds, so a bit of a waste definitely, but they can team fight soon. So not the worst thing. They also are missing a gem here, so they're relying on sentries. A really bad place to be in, because all of a sudden Necro 3 can kill them. They have a gem of their own they can destroy. They have 2 gems actually, one on Queen and one on Dazzle. So that Glimmer Cape that they tried to utilize in the last team fight barely did anything to help.
Preemptive measures now. EG drops some sentries in the mid lane, while Virtus.pro like vultures surrounding the EG base here, trying to keep the pressure on all fronts. That ward that was dropped already taken care of from FNG.
Is under attack.
Now this one little melee Rax is all that stands between Virtus.pro claiming 2 sets and then just leaving one little hope here before they get to the Megas. And this series ends up being a split. That would mean, Purge, all 3 of our series today were splits.
That would be insane, actually, because it's looking bad for EG right now. He's blinking in.
Oh.
There's the punch on FNG. Can they kill him before he graves? He still goes down. Jet's on the ground.
Down, and Fear gets huge damage with a slide of fist. He ends up taking down 2. G from the back end side. Big Sonic Wave, not enough to finish off Universe, who's going to get the Glimmer came off. Now he decides to re-engage and pull back. What a hold from EG, and Universe diving in to get the Dazzle down first.
And both gems on the ground, so things completely turn around. One for each eye, even though Tusk only has 1 eye with these cosmetics. He is absolutely set. Silver Edge picked up as well, so that's the space they need. They still lost that barracks in the mid lane regardless, so they lost something there, but man, getting the gems back is going to help a lot versus the Brood. Now Sumail can basically just hit bot by himself. He's going to BOTs at the top lane. They want to take a Rax here if they can, or at least push out the lanes really hard, and they can do that now, and DK Phobos is much less of a threat because of this.
Yeah, Phobos is just kind of like, I'm still working with bottom maybe, but EG happy to charge on forward. In fact, Fear, again to the mid lane, quickly handles this creep wave. They're going to move in the mid. He's going to cut for the top. And G quickly shows up first as a defense. They'll get done what they can. They're going to see this creep.
Oh, the head vision on the Broodmother. Oh, they still got him. Here's the snowball.
They move in. Universe gets the Walrus Punch, but I don't think he has enough to do it alone here. Needs the assistance, and Phobos, he's just like, I gotta get out of here.
He's just waiting for his team, and his team's not coming.
And he's able to draw the attention towards the bottom and just get out of there. Sumail grabs up an Invis rune. Oh, can he get a solo pick here? Might be.
This is. Oh, they have their own gem now. There's a gem on the Rubik, and they ping that. So he's got BOTs now. This Rubik is really farmed. Well, it's very high impact, honestly. He doesn't have like a Force and other utility items, but he doesn't really need those this game. Maybe a Ghost Scepter might be nice, but ulti, they're going in.
They see PPD, they're moving right in, lift back, Illidan. Oh, easy Abyssal setup, he goes down, Mystic Flare there,
Fear got Hex.
Shrugs him off, Fear hexed up, and he's gonna be brought down, he can't, man, he slips out, back to base, he is gone.
AOI is
Sumail Universe.
Wow.
Oh, man, how are they slipping out from trouble?
All right, Universe is going to die at least. Okay.
I don't know. Okay, I'm not convinced until he actually dies. Okay, now he's like, I'm giving my life. He goes in with a Walrus Punch. He will end up going down. Sumail makes his own clean getaway. Fear somehow, some way, gets his old legs out of there and
dirty.
back to Fountain.
He does go for the Scotty build, by the way. It's completely paid off there, kept him alive just barely. Allows him to apply the slow to every single hero that he swipes on. Useful against pretty much everybody except for the Lycan when he uses ult. But even still, the HP helped. And they lost some important heroes, but they can still defend here. And PP's up very soon, 10 seconds left on him. Doesn't have buyback. Tusk as well, no buyback.
He'll be back in time for an Echo setup. VP better recognize that, but Illidan, he wants to charge in. He goes right for the shapeshift here. They can taste victory, Purge. They get this Rex, they get Megas.
There's the left, there's the Hex.
Fear gets hexed immediately again. And
Abyssal
Abyssal
as well.
Lock. He's down. No buyback. That could have been game right there. Oh, what another quick sheep setup. They're going to rid of the Ember Spirit. Now that means the tier 3 is going to go down, and they start going right to work on the racks.
Oh, it's so low. There's a blink stun from Lil. And the melee barracks as well. That's going to be mega creeps for sure. Can Sumail stop it? Echo Slam comes in. A lot of damage to Lil. He's going down. PBD's going down as well. Grave on Illidan. Sumail's going to fall. Good game. And another 1-1 for to end the day. I can't believe it.
Newbie, Virtus.pro, and Evil Geniuses will all split their series and all earn 2 points at the start of their group stage run.
What an unexpected day. Everybody's just looking pretty equal. I think EG has definitely impressed me the most out of all the teams today, but if you can't get that 2-0, your points just aren't that amazing. And Group 2 is looking like we might get down to the tiebreaker rules at this point.
I mean, I would hate to get to that point when we're seeing what team is going to make it to the next level and secure that top-seeded spot. And if the difference was just one of these games for one of these teams...
Yeah. It's a difference from one ulti or one spell used slightly better. Could have completely changed so many of the games today, but they end up all going split.